He did not have a normal childhood. In fact, his biological mother described him as, quote, a problem from the moment he was born. But somehow she gave him the name of Steve Jobs. And at 40 days old, she left him on the doorstep of an orphanage. Thankfully, a working-class couple named Paul and Clara Jobs adopted him and raised him in the San Francisco Bay Area. From an early age, Steve showed interest in electronics, taking apart clocks and other devices to understand how they worked. This curiosity was encouraged by his adoptive parents, who were very much aware of their son's unique wiring. Steve wasn't easy to manage. He was rebellious and didn't take kindly to rules or authority. He questioned why things had to be a certain way, and often saw things differently than everyone else. When he entered high school, he met another student named Steve Wozniak, who would change the course of his life. Wozniak was a coding prodigy, having taught himself electronics by reading books and tinkering. Together, these two Steves shared a passion for technology, which laid the foundation for what would become Apple Computer Inc. 1976, Steve Jobs, at age 21, convinces his friend Steve Wozniak to build a computer together. They started with a plan, no money, so they began building the Apple I in Jobs' family garage. Their goal was simple, to create a personal computer that regular people could afford and use. Most computers at the time cost thousands of dollars, limited to businesses and the wealthy. But Apple wanted to bring computing power to homes and offices. It took them 2 months to build the Apple I, but they didn't have any money to market it. Wozniak, however, had a solution. He would sell the plans to the computer to a local electronics store owner for $300. And with those funds, Jobs built a website called The Byte Shop. Jobs convinced Wozniak to charge $66.66 for the Apple I, a price that shocked everyone. But orders started pouring in, and the two friends found themselves in business. As the popularity of the Apple I grew, so did demand for their next creation. Enter the Apple II. Unveiled in 1977, the Apple II was more powerful than its predecessor, and the marketing materials were designed by Jobs, who understood the importance of aesthetics. Instead of a plain manual, Jobs produced a brochure with glossy photos and compelling copy. He also arranged for the Apple II to be featured in a nationally televised electronics show. The result? 180 orders within the first 20 minutes. The partners had tapped into something special, a formula for success that combined technology and marketing. But Jobs' restless nature led him to seek new challenges. In 1980, Apple went public, and overnight, Jobs became a millionaire at 25. However, this success story took a dark turn. In 1985, Jobs was ousted from the company he co-founded. He had clashed with the board of directors over creative differences and his abrasive management style. Out of the frying pan and into the fire, Jobs founded a new company called Next, which focused on high-end computers for education and business. But his heart wasn't in it. Instead, he threw himself into reviving Pixar, an animation studio he purchased from George Lucas. With Jobs at the helm, Pixar revolutionized 3D computer animation, releasing the blockbuster Toy Story in 1995, the first full-length computer-animated film. Now a billionaire, Jobs decided to leave Next behind. But his Next software would later play a pivotal role in Apple's resurgence. 6 years after being fired, Jobs returned to Apple in 1997. He streamlined Apple's product line, cut costs, and rebranded the struggling company. His return led to the development of the iMac in 1998, a colorful all-in-one computer that symbolized Apple's rebirth. Jobs went on to introduce the iPod in 2001, changing how we consume music. But it was the iPhone in 2007 that truly revolutionized communication, media, and mobile computing. His influence extended beyond the tech world. Jobs was a master storyteller, known for his charismatic keynote presentations. He could make complex technology seem effortless and exciting. In 2010, he unveiled the iPad, which would disrupt publishing and entertainment industries. But his health was deteriorating. After a battle with pancreatic cancer, Jobs resigned as Apple's CEO in 2011. He passed away on October 5, 2011, leaving behind a legacy that continues to shape our world. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite Apple product. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.